Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your March 16th, 2020 results of Raw. Birthdays. You got March 14th, Santana Marella, he was born 1974, and Wrath, 1964. March 15th, birthdays, Iron Sheik, 1942, Jordan Devlin of NXT, 1990. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, if you don't know his name, MJF, 1996. He's AEW's heel, top heel in the company. And birthdays on the 16th. Former WWE Tag Team Champion Mark Henry O'Godwin. Canterbury turned 56 years old, while former WWE star Ken Doane, Kenny of the Spirit Squad, turned 34. Former WCW star Steve Armstrong turned 55. Road Dogg's brother. And former WWE developmental talent Brett DiBiase turned 32. The son of the $1 Million Man. Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man. Last week's WWE SmackDown on Fox, from the former Senator Jeff Hardy returned from his 2019 leg injury to defeat King Corbin in singles action. Not only did Jeff debut a new tattoo, he also debuted a new finisher. As the announcer called it, the Twist of Fury. I described it myself on the SmackDown video. It's another version of Twist of Fate, but instead of the RKO finish, it's none other than a neckbreaker. Instead of straight down like he and his brother Matt have done for many years, it's possible that the new style of finisher and the name change had something to do with brother Matt Hardy using the Twist of Fate in another promotion now that he's left WWE. And you can find out at this link. The United States government extended their 30-day travel ban due to the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic to Ireland and the United Kingdom earlier in the day. On Monday, joining the initial ban from Europe announced a few days ago. The new travel restrictions means that WWE fans from over 28 different countries would not be able to attend WrestleMania 36 even if the show were to continue as scheduled. It's currently still set for April the 5th from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Later on in this video, you will see that it has been changed. City officials in Tampa recently announced that if WWE doesn't make the decision soon regarding the shows, they will pull the plug themselves. Alexa Bliss recently responded to a fan who suggested that she had plastic surgery work done. The former Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion posted a throwback photo, and a fan wrote that she didn't have plastic surgery then. Bliss retorted by tweeting, "The only plastic surgery I've had is my boobs. 4 times, LOL. Hashtag just being honest." Bliss has been open when discussing getting breast implants. She also posted bikini selfies in the past that resulted in some fans highlighting the procedures. Bliss would respond to some of the comments with replies like, "Old news." Bliss grew up dealing with eating disorders to the point where she was only 85 pounds. On an episode of WWE 365 last year, Bliss discussed getting the implants when she was 17. And even I posted a notes on that, and a video on that as well. There's a lot of rumors about it, like, "Oh, did Alexa Bliss get implants? I've had implants since I was 17. Bliss said, "I'm very open and honest about it. When I had my eating disorder, I got down to 85 pounds. My doctor told my mom, said if I don't get admitted, I will die. They treated my health symptoms. They didn't treat the mental side of it. The second time I was hospitalized, they treated it like a mental disorder and a mental illness. And that's actually when it started getting better. So I was very self-conscious about my body and the fact that I felt like I looked like a 7-year-old boy. There are studies that show implants help women recover from eating disorders because they feel more womanly and they feel better about their bodies and their self-image. All the doctors in on this one procedure were my pediatrician, my eating disorder doctor, my psychologist, my psychiatrist. I will never regret doing that for myself because it helped me get over my eating disorder and my body image issues. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, singing Shake Off from Taylor Swift. Carpool karaoke, anyone? At this link. Hint to my future wrestling company, I will have karaoke at the end of my shows, where the fans get to choose their song and their opponent or tag team partner for that particular event, as well as other ideas I have. Of course, you got signing autographs and you got video game challenges. Looks like WWE had planned for Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose to split before WrestleMania 36. No word yet on if this match will still happen due to the various changes related to WrestleMania 36, but at WrestleVotes reports that WWE had planned to do a 6-person mixed tag team match with Mandy Rose and Heavy Machinery versus Sonya Deville, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. But that possibly has changed, and Sonya Deville could possibly be with Heavy Machinery instead. It's also been reported that the Otis Mandy storyline would likely see a payoff at WrestleMania 36, but they've already changed that. And this is the first we've heard of the mixed tag team match. It will be interesting to see if WWE plans to keep the match on the card and how comedy matches like this will work if they still keep the show at the empty WWE 400 Center in Orlando. Spoiler alert, that's what happens. Could former WWE champion Alberto Del Rio be returning to WWE soon? El Patron appeared on Nos Queo La Noche in Mexico at this link, seen in the video, and it said, being in recent talks with WWE, Del Rio believes a deal with WWE can be reached for him to return in mid-2020, possibly during the summertime. Del Rio said he considers himself to be semi-retired right now, but he'd like to have one more run in pro wrestling. We have been in communication, Alberto said to WrestlingNews.co. We have rebuilt the bridge on their part, and they were wrong on some decisions, and I had also did some things wrong on my part. I am hoping that we can reach an agreement sometime this year, or about the middle of the year. I'll be back there. Alberto last appeared for WWE in summer 2016. He reportedly left while unhappy with his position in the company and how he was used. And he later spoke out against the company after the departure, including negative comments about Triple H. Alberto later revealed in 2018 that he had apologized to Triple H while blaming his personal issues on his ex-girlfriend, Paige, and her family. It should be noted that Alberto has made similar claims about a possible WWE return in the past. He spoke to Super Luchas in March 2019 and said he was back on good terms with WWE, specifically with Triple H, and that the WWE door was open for him to return before he decided to retire. It was later reported that the same week that a return was unlikely, at least at that point, as Del Rio's behavior rubbed many people in the company the wrong way, and his no-shows weren't forgotten. However, this was before AEW started competing, and we've seen over the years anything is possible in the world of pro wrestling. WWE officially announced the list of inductees for the WWE Hall of Fame, class of 2020. Jushin Thundebliger is the newest name added to the list that includes British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, Batista, the NWO Hulkster, Scott Hall, Hey Yo, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman. The Bella Twins, JBL. The ceremony was scheduled to take place on April 2nd, but that has been changed. I'll give you a spoiler alert. It's changed the night before SummerSlam. Finn Balor explains in this video about Liger's induction as he was in NXT at one point. Triple H and William Regal gave their praise for Liger. Liger spoke to New Japan Pro Wrestling on his WWE Hall of Fame induction. He also announced his retirement as well. Wow, this was a really huge surprise. There are tons of better wrestlers to give this honor to than me. After Antonio Inoki and Tatsumi Fujinami were the first to enter the Hall of Fame, For me to be number 3 is just a huge shock. That's not fake humility. I'm not putting up a front. It's honestly how I feel. I spent my whole career just having fun. I always loved pro wrestling and just did what I loved all these years. Like I said, the thought process was just, this sounds like fun. Let's do it. Then a lot of people were willing to cooperate with me to make things happen. So in that sense, it really feels strange. I should be the one to be honored here. Many former New Japan wrestlers or wrestlers that have wrestled in JPW are at WWE now. Like I talked about, getting the chance to meet those wrestlers and living up to the prestige of the WWE Hall of Fame and his name. I know a big ceremony is planned, and as of right now, I'm planning to go. I'm looking forward to seeing Kushida, Shinsuke Nakamura, and a lot of the foreign wrestlers I know, as well as some of the legends that'll be there too. It's really moving to be given such a grand award. I'm quite nervous. Like I said, I definitely want to live up to the Hall of Fame name and the reputation that the wrestler Jushin Thundebliger had. I'll definitely be on my best behavior. Like I talked about his potential speech regarding whether it would be in Japanese translated into English or just in English. He lightheartedly said that his son speaks English and may have him do the speech for him. So he will possibly be at the event as well. The only other thing is the speech. How are we going to do this? Does it have to be in English? Can I do it in Japanese? Apparently, Fujinami wrote a speech, got it translated into English, and then practiced it a million times. Like I said, my kid speaks good English. I might put him to work so I can do the speech in English. Worst come to it, I'll just do it in Japanese. WWE Fox Twitter account issued a note to fans on Monday afternoon that they face an interesting week of change due to the coronavirus pandemic. This week's WWE NXT, Raw, and SmackDown episodes will air from the PC Center, Performance Center in Orlando with no crowds in attendance. And this will be all the way up through WrestleMania. Due to the COVID-19 outbreak, coronavirus, I should say. I should just remember the beer. WWE on Fox Twitter account promised fans at WWE Universe will get through this and get back to normal soon. This upcoming week will be another memorable week. We miss your presence, your signs, your chants, and much more. We will get through this together and can't wait for you to pack arenas and stadiums once again. The statement reads, WWE has confirmed to us that WrestleMania 36 will now air live from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Biggest event of the year will no longer take place at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay because of the coronavirus. They do it one word on there. I have to separate it to remind myself. Now, the greatest stage of them all will still air live on the WWE Network and pay-per-view on Sunday, April 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central. But there will be no crowd, as only essential personnel will be allowed to on the closed set, families and such. So, if they do all that at the greatest stage of them all, they can still have it almost jam-packed, at least from the PC Center, Performance Center, as they have been doing with Raw and SmackDown since Friday. Furthermore, WWE officially announced at the event that WrestleMania 36 week in Tampa Bay has been canceled. These changes were forced by ongoing COVID-19 outbreak. WWE also confirmed the 2020 Hall of Fame induction ceremony and NXT TakeOver Tampa Bay event will not take place from the Amalie Arena as originally scheduled that weekend, while those two events may end up taking place at the PC. The rest of WrestleMania 36 week, including Access, has been canceled due to the outbreak. Well, Raw at the Performance Center was moved from the PPG Paints Arena due to the outbreak. Wednesday's NXT this week will air from the PC due to the due to Full Sail University nixing all events on campus through April. Thus, schooling has been canceled. And Friday's SmackDown is expected to air from the Performance Center after originally being scheduled for Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Speaking of New Orleans, Friday night was SmackDown. Saturday was scheduled for a WWE event in Alexandria. That has been postponed to June. And for Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana, on Sunday, the 22nd, has been canceled completely. After all, it was already replaced from back in August of last year. So I'm getting my refund. I was told by Friday. Due to coronavirus outbreak, local governments around the country have been putting restrictions in place that have forced small and large gatherings to be canceled. Thus, anybody going fishing, the lake should be closed too. This forced WWE to move their events to the Performance Center with no crowds in attendance. Updated at 7 p.m. on Monday night. WWE confirmed that WrestleMania 36 will now be at the Performance Center and cancel WrestleMania week in Tampa. WrestleMania week cancellation means WrestleCon 2020 is also no more. Refunds for all the tickets sold by WrestleCon will be issued in the next 7 days. Thank you for your patience. See you in Los Angeles. The WrestleCon Twitter account wrote, promising to see the fans next year for WrestleMania 37 week in Los Angeles area. Fight TV told another fan on Twitter that they can contact support at fight.tv if they order WrestleCon tickets through their streaming service, and the matter will be fixed. WrestleCon was scheduled to run from Thursday, April 2nd through Sunday, April 5th in the Tampa area. They had several signings and live events scheduled, including a special TNA themed show from Impact Wrestling, Joey Ryan's Penis Party, NJPW's Lions Break Project 3, Joey Janela's Spring Break 4, Matt Hardy's Broken Tailgate Party, and more. I haven't heard anything from Matt Hardy about canceling it yet, but I'm pretty sure it will be. Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan announced on Twitter that his event, Hogan's Beach, has also been postponed due to coronavirus. The event was supposed to take place on April 6th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tampa. Looks like 2020 Hall of Famer is being pushed back to August, but not confirmed as of yet. The daughter of 2020 Hall of Famer Richard Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, George Smith took to Twitter today to confirm that it has been changed and told fans that she spoke with WWE and the company is delaying the ceremony until a later date this year. She added that WWE is hoping to do the induction ceremony during SummerSlam weekend. Just a heads up, I have spoken with at WWE and they are postponing the Hall of Fame for a later date and are hoping to do it for SummerSlam, which would be appropriate for my dad. Thanks again for all your support. Let's all stay safe out there. UK flag emoji. Raw. Now it looks like Hall of Fame ceremony might not happen until the SummerSlam pay-per-view, which is currently scheduled for August 23rd from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. WNXT ticketing website has confirmed the first set of rescheduled live events that were changed due to the corona pandemic. From earlier this week, upcoming NXT live events in the state of Florida were postponed due to COVID outbreak. It was announced on Tuesday that the following dates have been rescheduled. Citrus Springs, Florida, at the Community Center, moved from Friday, March 20th to Friday, July 10th. Fort Pierce, Florida, at the Harbor L. Fenn Center, moved from Saturday, March 21st to Friday, June 26th. Tampa, Florida, at University Area CDC Gymnasium, moved from Friday, March 27th to Saturday, June 13th. Largo, Florida, at the Minreg Hall, moved from Saturday, March 28th to Saturday, June 20th. All original tickets will be good for the makeup dates. Vice has released the new trailer for the Season 2 premiere of their hit Dark Side of the Ring series. This thing, 2-hour, 2-part season, Premiere will air on Tuesday, March 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Vice TV. Premiere will focus on the Chris Benoit tragedy in 2007. As seen in the trailer, names featured in the Benoit episodes include Chris Jericho, Vicky Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Chris's other son David Benoit, Nancy's sister Sandra Topolini, and others. Vicky tweeted on her involvement with the show and wrote, "I'm so happy to be a part of this project. At Mex Warrior, at Dark Side of the Ring, and crew has been working hard for many months. Please tune in." Chavo also took to Instagram and said the project is dear and dear to his heart. He wrote, "Here's a project that I've been working on with at Evan Husney and at Jason Eisner that is so near and dear to my heart. After all, he was the one that was sent text messages at Dark Side of the Ring, the Chris Benoit story on at Vice, March 24th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope this reminds everyone that there were people that were so very affected and not just the sensational murder coverage by the media. All out their heart and souls into this project. Hashtag Vice, hashtag Dark Side of the Ring, hashtag Guerrero, hashtag Benoit, hashtag family, hashtag brothers. Jericho will narrate all of the episodes on season 2. The rest of the season will also cover the following topics: Owen Hart death, the murder of Dino Bravo, WWE's Brawl for All, leading to the career-ending injuries, the career of New Jack, David Schultz's run-in with a 2020 reporter, the death of Nancy Argentino, the story of WWE Hall of Famers, the Road Warriors, and Herb Abrams' attempt to build a wrestling empire with the UWF. Also noted, this week's SmackDown on Fox and next Monday's Raw on the USA Network have been confirmed for the Performance Center. They were moved from the original venues due to corona pandemic. This week's NXT also will air for the PC due to the outbreak as well. Dave Meltzer noted on Twitter that this week's NXT episode will be under a modified format, thus being probably no live matches, while SmackDown and Raw will continue to be done like they were the past week. Only a few matches. WWE this week's NXT was scheduled to feature Candice LeRae versus Mercedes Martinez in a TakeOver ladder match qualifier, plus the title reign celebration with NXT champion Adam Cole. But it looks like these will not be happening, as Meltzer added that there will be no live matches on NXT this week. So guess what? I won't even watch it. There will reportedly be a studio setting with interviews, personality profiles, and old footage. Also noted, this week's SmackDown on Fox, next week's Raw. I think I got this twice. I did. It's now official that Monday's Raw will air from the Performance Center on the USA Network like this week. There will be no crowd. The Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas announced this afternoon that next Monday's Raw will not air from that arena due to coronavirus pandemic. New update for WWE's return to Fort Worth is Friday, July 31st for a live SmackDown on Fox episode. All tickets bought for next Monday's Raw will be honored for the July 31st SmackDown. This week's episode of WWE Main Event was taped March 16th, but I did not get any results from 6 different websites. I don't know where to get them from. Supposedly taped from Monday Night Raw, but no results were posted. With the coronavirus situation going on, there was nothing posted. Nobody to give them results or anything from Twitter. But guess what? I did get a video from what happened after Raw with Stone Cold. First ever Raw from the Performance Center in Orlando opens up with Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton, and Hall of Famer Jerry King Lawler standing in the ring. No crowd in the PC Center. They hyped tonight's 3/16 date. Obviously, it's on the 16th of March. In addition to Raw, Hall of Famer Stone Cold will be on the show later. Tom chose his last last week's AJ Styles promo on The Undertaker, where he's commented on Taker's wife, Michelle McCool. Texas says Taker will be here tonight to sign WrestleMania 36 contract. They go on hyping tonight's show, and Tom brings us Hall of Famer Edge being here tonight as well. The music interrupts, and suddenly Pyro and Edge makes his appearance in the ring. Mike Rome does the introductions. Edge is all business. He enters the ring and immediately takes the mic. Edge says that the past few months has been strange for he and his wife. He calls for the footage to be rolled. We see a video package on recent events between Randy Orton, Edge, and his wife. Edge goes on about how this has been a long time coming. He's talking to Orton while looking at the camera, going on about their history. Edge says they're a lot alike, but there's one difference. Orton is an entitled brat. Orton is right. He's one of the best ever. But he had all this handed on a silver platter to him. Edge continues and talks about how he didn't have this handed to him. He came up under a single mother who worked hard. Edge goes on and says Orton is jealous of him because he can't do what Edge can. And that tears Orton apart. Edge reveals that Beth came to Raw a few weeks ago when she gave the medical update to retire for Edge again. Edge says Orton just couldn't let Beth finish. Edge says it's pretty simple now at WrestleMania 36. If Orton has the guts, then it'll be Edge versus Orton in a last man standing match. Edge says this isn't a story Orton writes. Edge will dictate, and at WrestleMania, Orton won't stand back up. Edge drops the mic, exits the ring, as the music plays. He drops it like a pipe bomb, CM Punk style. We see Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch pulling up at the Performance Center in her one and only 18-wheeler. Minus the trailer, the cab only, the man honks a horn and hops out. Marching into the building, we go to commercial. Back for the break, announcers lead us to a replay of the 2020 Royal Rumble match. And we see WWE Champion Brock Lesnar dominating the early part of the match before taking another commercial break. We get several more commercial breaks as the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble replay continues. After a few more breaks, we see Drew McIntyre's Big Rumble win to become the number one contender to WWE Champion Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36. Tom, Lawler, and Saxon are back at the Performance Center. Talk about WrestleMania 36, but air from this facility instead of Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Starting off your second hour of Raw. Due to the corona pandemic, Lawler comments on how they say anything can happen in WWE, and it does. But the greatest show of them all must go on, and it will. Announcers talk McIntyre versus Lesnar at WrestleMania. The show was a replay from 2 weeks ago when Drew took out Lesnar on the stage with a Claymore kick. And the botch segment as well, as Lesnar told him to pick up the belt. We go to the ring, and Lawler is in there with a table and chairs for a contract signing. Lawler introduces The Undertaker, and out he comes to sign the WrestleMania 36 contract with AJ Styles. Taker quickly marches to the ring instead of taking his time like usual as the music plays and the lightning strikes. Taker enters the ring and immediately starts flipping over the tables and chairs. Lawler retreats from the ring as we go to back to commercial. Back for the break, and it sounds like Tom says Undertaker was pissed because there was no contract present on the table. That was not clear before the show quickly went to a commercial. And we go to video package on AJ Styles' recent promo on Taker and Michelle McCool, where AJ promised to put the nail in Taker's coffin and take his soul. We go back to the PC, and Taker is pacing around in the ring. Tom confirms that Taker is pissed because there was no contract on the table. Lawler doesn't have an explanation. Taker continues to pace the ring until AJ's music hits. AJ isn't there. AJ's music starts back up, but there's no sign of him. Again, the OC finally appears on the big screen. AJ, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. AJ has a contract in his hand. AJ says Taker is a legend who has carried the business on his back, but he keeps putting himself in a company that wants to see him gone. AJ says you can bet Taker will put himself into a WrestleMania season. AJ says this is all Michelle McCool's fault. Money McCool. He says McCool helps Taker dust off his crusty crusty jacket each year and go out to embrace himself. AJ goes on, taking shots at Taker, also calling him Mark, his real name. AJ says Taker has put his nose in OC's business twice now. AJ goes on with shots at Taker and his age. AJ finally signs the contract and asks Anderson to take the contract out to Taker. Anderson isn't interested. AJ tells Gallows to take the contract, but he's also not interested. They argue, and AJ sends them both out, telling them not to backtalk him. Gallows and Anderson head to the ring with the contract and the music hits. Gallows and Anderson slowly walk out as the Taker stares them down. They're hesitant, finally laying the contract on the edge of the apron. They start backing up, but lights go out. We hear the bell toll once. Light comes back on, and the bell tolls again. Taker's no longer in the ring, but standing behind Gallows and Anderson. They finally turn around to see Taker standing behind them, but it's too late. Taker destroys Gallows and Anderson at ringside. Chokeslam, sending him into the barriers and the steel ring steps. Taker signs the contract. As AJ watches on the big screen, Taker rips the contract out of the holder and shoves it in Anderson's mouth. Taker's music starts back up as he marches to the top of the ramp. AJ is on the big screen, again, staring back at Taker. Taker stares back as his music starts up to end the segment. Still to come, Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. Your only match of Raw. A nice lead up to another throwback video of Stone Cold to celebrate 316 Day and tonight's appearance back to commercial. Andrade versus Rey Mysterio. Back to the ring. Out comes Rey Mysterio to the ring. WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Asuka's joined the announcers for commentary. U.S. Champion Andrade is out next with Zelina Vega for his non-title match. Bell rings and they go at it. Andrade drops Rey and stomps away. Asuka's making things unbearable on commentary. If you can understand that, good luck. That's what you were saying on Raw. Rey fights back and takes Andrade down with head scissors. No closed caption for hearing impaired or anything. Andrade distracts the referee, allowing Vega to pull Rey's leg from the floor. Rey goes on and flies from the top, but Andrade kicks him in midair. Gets his knees up. Andrade takes advantage for a close pin attempt. More back and forth after the break. Rey flies in with a seated senton from the apron. Rey with more offense and a big kick to the face for a close 2 count. Rey goes on keeping control and drops Andrade in position for the 619. But Andrade blocked it with a big elbow to the face. Andrade covers for a 2 count for himself. Andrade and Vega laugh at Rey now. Andrade with a step suplex. Andrade goes for the trifecta. Eddie Guerrero's out. Rey blocks it and ends up hitting the 619. Rey goes on with more offense to get the pin for the non-title win. After the match, Vega's shocked as the music plays as Rey begins his celebration. We get a video package to hype Shayna Baszler's dominance as she prepares to challenge Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36. We see a video of Lynch arriving earlier in her big rig. Back to commercial. Even had a picture all over the rig. Back for the break, out comes Raw Women's Champion Becky. The man to the ring. Becky takes the mic and says, "This is for Shayna Baszler." Becky knows she's watching and listening because she's obsessed. We see Baszler watching backstage. Becky goes on bragging and says, as long as she's the champion, Baszler's whole existence is a lie. Becky calls Baszler an animal scumbag. Becky says everything she's done is designed to make Baszler think of what Becky wants. Becky goes on with the trash talking. She says watching Baszler dominate Elimination Chamber did wake her up. She goes on and says she will prove at WrestleMania that Baszler's whole life is a lie and is going to hit her like a truck. We see Baszler watching backstage again as Becky drops the mic and raises the title while her music plays. We get another 316 Day throwback video of Stone Cold back commercial. Back for the break, announcers hype Charlotte Flair versus NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley for WrestleMania 36. Charlotte Cruz is backstage with Kevin Owens. She mentions how Owens wants to face Seth Rollins at any time, any place. Owens agrees, but wants to speak on his own, asking Charlie if he can take the mic. She lets him have it. Owens knows Rollins is watching and waiting. Owens accepts the challenge and says the match will happen at WrestleMania 36 at the PC. Owens says there is no better place for the match to happen, and he means it. Owens goes on about how Rollins has had his goons and the advantage as of late, but Owens will have the home field advantage at WrestleMania 36 when they face at the PC. Owens said the match will happen where he started his WWE career, where he had the hardest experience of his career. Owens talks about making memories and meeting special people at the PC, but he will add one more memory to that list when he beats Rollins in the middle of the ring. In the same building, he earned his place in WWE, and he will do it at WrestleMania 36. Owens is the promo. And now to send us another throwback video Stone Cold from 1998. His WrestleMania 14 match with Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels and referee Mike Tyson. Still to come, Stone Cold will be here. Back for the rate, WWE confirms Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and WWE Champion Brock Lesnar for next Monday night. Probably just doing the same thing like they did there. We got the ring out comes the Hall of Famer Stone Cold for a 316 celebration. Austin takes some of his Broken Skull IPA beers and has a beer bash as he enters the ring. He chugs the first two and does a signature fall as the music continues. Austin takes the mic after the music stops. He declares that March 16th is now a national holiday from here out. He asks for the crowd to give him a hell yeah, but there's no crowd. He asks again, and Byron Saxton gives him the hell yeah. Saxton does it again. Austin reads off cards about what 316 day means. More comedy from Austin here, and Saxton as he scores each card that Austin reads. Austin's last declaration is that 316 day is a day where you can whoop anyone's butt at any time, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Austin says this. Saxton has been such a big help in the segment that he's invited him to come down to the ring to celebrate. Austin has a few more beers tossed to him as Saxton hits the ring. All smiles. Lawler and Tom see what's about to happen. They already know it. Austin thanks Saxton and hands him a beer. Austin thanks Saxton for his work tonight and offers a toast. He calls him a jackass. They start chugging the beers together, and Austin then does them with a stunner while they're drinking. Austin's music plays, and he calls for more beers to be tossed to the ring. Austin has a beer bash in the ring now. Music interrupts as Raw Women's Champion Becky comes back out. Becky is carrying a cooler. Austin is all smiles. Becky steps on Saxton like he's not even there. Stepping inside the ring, Becky takes more beers out of the cooler and says she's here to celebrate 316 Day with Austin. Austin's music starts back up as he and Becky continue their beer bash. Saxton is still trying to recover. He finally gets up as Austin pours more beers down his throat. Actually, only a couple of sips as they all go down the side of his mouth. And drops him with drops Saxton with another stunner. Becky takes the mic and gets down in Saxton's face, saying that that's what happened when Stone Cold and the man come around. The beer bash continues as the first ever Raw from Pro Wrestling goes off the air, thankfully, after 2 minutes early. And what happened after Raw at this link happened with Stone Cold delivering stunners to Saxton again, and also the Street Profits in the ring as well. Doing their We Want to Smoke and bringing in a cup as Austin pours them a beer and still gives them a stunner. And that concludes my Raw results for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on me. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.